All righty then. Well, good morning, everyone. Welcome you to Estes Field on the campus of Central Methodist University. It's game 3 and 4 of the doubleheader between Central Methodist and Graceland. Quentin Norris calling from the Catbird seat. Central Methodist, they are 13-3, 2-0 in the conference. Graceland, they're 8-7, 0-2 in the conference. Of course, games 1 and 2 is yesterday. Central Methodist won the first game 15-2. In that first game there, Central Methodist had a 2 in the first, 4 more in the third, and then a big 8-run fourth inning. And then they added one more in the sixth inning there. Of course, Grace for that 15-2 victory. Of course, Sebastian Escobar went the first 5. Alfred Uora and Marcus Pritchard closed it out, pitching 2 scoreless innings there as well. Even though they're going to give up only 1 run in the last 2 innings. For the second game there, it was a 9-0 victory there on a 2-hit performance there by Clayton Burke, who pitched 6 solid innings, gave up just 2 hits there during that time frame. And then, of course, Justin Steedray pitched the scoreless 9th inning for that 9-0 victory there. Of course, 13-3, 2-0 in the conference there as well. Along with that, of course, it's heading into the doubleheader. The leading hitter, is, of course, is Carlos Negron. Now has 9 homers, 25 RBIs. For Graceland, it's Trevor York. He still has a homer and 7 RBIs on the year. Landon Winningham is still 0-0, 2.25 ERA, no walks, and 3 strikeouts. While for Graceland, that's Stephen Eskridge. 0-1 with a 1.13 ERA, walking 15 strikeouts as well. Big sports event there, of course, already this morning. Central Methodist softball defeated Texas A&M Texarkana 8-0 on a 2-hitter by Haley Cotter. First 2-2 on the year. They're now playing Central Baptist. They hopefully will get an update there throughout today's doubleheader there down at Gulfshore. They just recently added the game there because the games Friday against Tennessee Southern and Lindsey Wilson, they were rained out. So they originally scheduled one, but then they decided, let's add another one. Hopefully they can complete the road trip 4-0. Their next game after this 10-game road trip, they'll be at home against the University of St. Mary's. Doubleheader starts at 2 p.m. 1:45 pregame show is there as well. Of course, for the other sports events going on there, of course, also that Thursday, of course, we have an NHL game for you there on ESPN television at 6 p.m. The St. Louis Blues take on the New Jersey Devils at 6 o'clock on ESPN television. And then a fun day of sports of NHL coverage on Saturday, beginning at 11:30 a.m. That's the Carolina Hurricanes and the New Jersey Devils. And at 2 o'clock, the Pittsburgh Penguins take on the Boston Bruins there. If you look at the standings already, we have seen some teams already play a couple of conference games. Central Methodist at 2-0, 13-3. Benedictine 2-0, 8-9. Baker's 2-0, 4-12 altogether. Mid-Am is 2-1, 9-7. Park is 1-2, 9-2. Grandview, William Penn Clark, and Mount Mercy and Culver have not played a conference game yet. Grandview altogether is 8-4. William Penn 8-7. Of course, Central Methodist will play William Penn and Osceola, Iowa next weekend, which is also March 9 and 10. Next Sunday is also my birthday. So hopefully everyone take an opportunity to wish me an early happy birthday there. Hopefully Central Methodist can get a couple of victories on my birthday. Clark is 4-10. Mount Mercy 4-10. Of course, we'll see them in about 20 days. Actually 20 days there. And then for the 4-game series there. Culver Stockton is 3-12-1. Of course, they will play Culver Stockton the last weekend of the regular season. Graceland is 0-2. Of course, Missouri Valley, course, they'll play in about 3 weeks or so down in Marshall. And, of course, and Peru State is also 0-2. Missouri Valley 5-5. So we're ready to get started. Quentin Norris sitting in the catbird seat. We're about 10 minutes away from our pregame show. I'm good. Yeah, I'm still good. Yeah, I can still talk. So good crowd on this Sunday afternoon, the first Sunday of March. So hopefully Central Methodist can get a couple more victories there, prove their record of 4-0 in there. And amazing thing is, if you look at Central Methodist, of course, Mid-Am, of course, we'll see them on Easter weekend. And there you see the umpiring crew comes out onto the field there. They'll meet with the umpires, meet with the coaches for Central Methodist. That's Nate Breland along with Jordan Schwellenbach, Clay Hodgson, and Trey Rosenblatt. For Graceland, that's Brady McKillop and Brad Payne. We're going to go ahead and give you today's starting lineup. It is sponsored by Emmett's Kitchen for the visiting team, Graceland Yellow Jackets. And leading off playing left field, Keith Whitaker. Batting second baseman, Javi Jacob Lopez. Batting third, their shortstop, Zach Tanabe. Their designated hitter in the number 4 spot is Elio Navarez. Batting fifth, their first baseman, Trevor Yorgis. Batting in the number 6 spot is J.D. Woodruff at the catcher spot. Batting in the number 7 spot, their center fielder is William Pagan. And the 8th spot, their third baseman, Ramseel Urez. And batting ninth is their right fielder, Nicholas Boskin. And today's starting pitcher is Rafael Severino. For your Central Methodist Eagles, leading off playing center field is Bobby Nichols. Batting second baseman, Valentin Cerna Jr. Batting third, their catcher, Tanner Sears. Batting fourth, their right fielder, Carlos Negron. Batting fifth, their designated hitter, Jeremy Conforte. Batting fifth, their third baseman, Diego Durin. Batting sixth, their left fielder, that is Zeb Weedy. Batting eighth, their first baseman, Joseph Weatherford. Batting ninth, their shortstop, David Soriano. And today's starting pitcher is Foster Seisman. And, of course, talking with Jordan Schwellenbach, Ray Ochoa will start game number 2 as well. You see the umpires meeting there with the coaches in home plate, mainly exchanging the lineup cards and everything else. So we should be getting started. And, of course, we'll probably have the starting lineups. I think Tim Crowley will do the PA announcing as he'll announce the starting lineups for both teams there. We'll get to hear Tim talk about it. And then we'll get ready to play some baseball there. Okay, go ahead then.
This field for today's baseball matchup between the Graceland Yellow Jackets and your Central Methodist Eagles. We ask that all players, coaches, and spectators abide by the NAIA Championship character values, which are respect, integrity, responsibility, servant leadership, and sportsmanship. And now let's meet the starters for today's contest. First for the visiting team on the scoreboard, Graceland University. Leading off in left field, number 24, Keith Whitaker. Batting second at second base, number 11, Jacob Lopez. Hitting third, the shortstop, number 9, Zach Tanabe. Batting cleanup, the designated hitter, number 10, Elio Navarez. Batting fifth, the first baseman, number 19, Trevor Yorgez. Batting sixth, the catcher, number 25, J.D. Woodruff. Batting seventh in center field, number 16, William Pagan. Hitting eighth, the third baseman, number 13, Ramseel Urez. Batting ninth in right field, number 5, Nicholas Boskin. And today's starting pitcher, number 31, Rafael Severino. The Yellow Jackets are led by head coach Brady McKillop, and he is assisted by Brad Payne. And now it's time to introduce today's starters for your Central Methodist Eagles. second base, number 7, Valentin Cerna Jr. Hitting third, the catcher, number 21, Tanner Sears. Batting cleanup in right field, number 20, Carlos Negron. Batting fifth, designated hitter, number 33, Jeremy Conforti. Batting sixth at third base, number 4, Diego Dari. Batting seventh in left field, number 11, Zeb Weedy. Batting eighth, the first baseman, number 29, Joseph Weatherford. Batting ninth, the shortstop, number 2, David Soriano. And today's starting pitcher, number 10, Foster Sykes. The Eagles are led by head coach Nate Freeland, and he is assisted by Jordan Schwellenbach, Leighton Houchin, and Trey Rassenbach. And now, ladies and gentlemen, if you are able, please rise and remove your hats for a prayer to be followed by the playing of our national anthem. Almighty God, you have created us to strive for our best. Grant all athletes, coaches, and fans the strength to pursue excellence during this event. We pray for the safety of these athletes. Protect them from injury and harm. Help us to honor you in all that we do on and off the field, and make us witnesses to your glory. In Christ's name we pray. Amen.
Starting lineups, prayer, national anthem. We'll be ready to get started. Looks like we'll get an early start there. Let's go ahead and set the defense for you. Sponsored by Home Oil. Out in left field, Zeb Weedy. In center field, Bobby Nichols. In right field, Carlos Negron. At third base, Diego Duran. Shortstop, David Soriano. Second baseman, Valentin Cerna Jr. At first base, Joseph Weatherford. The catcher, Tanner Sears. And there's Foster Sykes, 3-1, 3.68 ERA, 6 walks and 15 strikeouts there from St. Louis. They went to Wentzville High School. They're up in that area. Of course, I got to meet his mom, Jill, dad, Greg, and his sister, Lila. They're all in attendance today as well. Of course, the umpires behind the plate. That's Larry McCoy. Down in the field there is Harry Wendelstead. So we're about ready to get started. And also want to give a congratulations to the Salisbury boys basketball team heading to the Final Four for the second consecutive year. 57-41 victory over the Harrisburg Bulldogs down in Salisbury last night. Of course, I have some great connection with Salisbury. I have a lot of great friends, and most notably, I'm, of course, known their superintendent for a number of years, named Roger Dorson. His son, Benji, is a Central Methodist graduate. He's also the superintendent at New Franklin. Also, the high school principal's name for a number of years was a guy named Bob Fuca. His daughter, Jill, is a CMU graduate as well. Also, some of the other great ones from Salisbury, of course, Kenny Wyatt, I think he was on that 1983 men's basketball team that went into the Hall of Fame there, I think in the January of 2021 there as well. Also some other great friends. I remember Matt Arney. His cousin Rick was my high school history teacher. As Keith Whitaker will come at the bat. No homers, 3 RBIs heading into today's game. So Foster Seitz gets his foot on the rubber. Whitaker is a left-handed hitter up there from California. And a swing and a miss came at 11:59 a.m. 45 seconds early. The temperature at 71 degrees. The time and temperature is sponsored by the parking spot. Easy to spot and easy to park. The parking spot here at Kansas City International Airport. Fouls that one off. Strike 2. Graceland wearing looks like the Navy uniform. Pink lettering and the pink numerals. 0-2 pitch. Slices that one foul. 0-2 the count on Keith Whitaker. 0-2 pitch. It's a liner into center field. There's a base hit. A leadoff single for Keith Whitaker. And now here's Jacob Lopez. Here's Jacob Lopez. No homers, 6 RBIs. Tries the bunt. First pitch. Ball. 1-0 to count. Central Methodist won both games yesterday. 15-2 and 9-0. Lays down a bunt. Beautiful bunt. The third baseman has it. Throws over to Weatherford. Now they can have a chance. It is a double play. Oh, baby. Or as Mal Allen used to say on This Week in Baseball, how about that? If you're scoring at home, it's 5-3-5. So 2 outs now. Here's Zach Tanabe. 286, a homer, 9 RBIs. Looking like Graceland was getting something going early and often, but the double play there really killed the rally. And a lot of times, as Vin Scully used to say it, that's your pitcher's best friend. And speaking of Vin Scully, if you're listening in, just pull up a chair then and spend your Sunday afternoons. Boy, it just feels like I'm watching a Cubs game on WGN television with Harry Carey. The 1-0 pitch. Or when the Royals used to play at noon, it used to be Denny Matthews doing the Royals game on television. Now it's Ryan Lefebvre and Rex Hudler. 2-0 pitch. And it's 3-0 the count there. With Elio Navarez on deck. Zach Tanabe from Hawaii takes it all the way. One time there was a AAA team back in the 70s called the Hawaii Islanders. They were an affiliate of the Chicago White Sox. Their famous broadcaster, Al Michaels. 3-1 pitch. Hits the ground ball up the middle, and there's a base hit. So 2 hits there, and that double play was big there because it could have scored the first run, but the double play took care of it then. Here's Elio Navarez. 348 hitter, 2 homers, 11 RBIs. Left-handed hitter. Foster Seitz needs to talk to the baseball. Point to the catcher, to Tanner Sears. Do all those arm gestures. A swing and a miss. Strike 1 there. Oh and 1 to count, the 0-1. Misses inside, 1-1, according to home plate umpire Larry McCoy. 1 ball and 1 strike on Elio Navarez. Also want to wish a happy birthday to Central Methodist men's basketball coach, Matt Sherman. 2 balls and 1 strike. Two and 1 to count. 2-1 pitch. There goes the runner, and that's a stolen base there. I think Tanner Sears couldn't get the proper grip on the ball there. So a stolen base. Tababi is at second. With the count is 3-1. On Elio Navarez. Tanabe's at second. A swing and a miss. 3-2 now. Trevor Yorgis is on deck. Three and 2 to count. 3-2 pitch. Lines a shot. Up in the center field. Nichols will have it. Coming in to score is Tanabe, and it makes it 1-0 Graceland for the first time they have led in this series. So 1-0 now. Here's Trevor Yorgis. 1 homer, 7 RBIs on the year. So 1-0 lead for Graceland. First pitch to him. That's a foul ball. Strike 1. Also, congratulations to LeBron James of the Los Angeles Lakers. First player in NBA history to score 40,000 career points on a driving layup with 10:40 to go in the second quarter against the Denver Nuggets. They throw over there, but Harry Wendell says he's back. One 0-1 to count. They throw over there. I think they go. Oh, just close. Oh, and 1 to count. On Trevor Yorgis, the 0-1. Chops it foul. Now it's 0-2 there. J.D. Woodruff is on deck. No homers, 3 RBI. Oh, and 2 the count with 2 outs in the first. 1-0 Graceland. They throw over there. I think they got him. No. Boy, just that close. Oh, and 2 the count. 0-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 3 call. So 1 run on 3 hits. No errors, and they leave 1. We head to the bottom of the first inning. 1-0 lead for Graceland on the Hart Conference Network. And we're going to go ahead and set the defense for you there. Sponsored by Dairy Queen. That's Keith Whitaker out in left field. Their center fielder is William Pagan. In right field, there's Nicholas Boscan. At third base, Ramseel Jerez. Shortstop, Zach Tanabe. Second baseman, Jacob Lopez. First baseman, Trevor Yorgis. Behind the plate is J.D. Woodruff. Today's starting pitcher is Rafael Severino from the Dominican Republic. 2-1, 1.93 ERA, 13 walks, and 19 strikeouts there. And, of course, the starting lineups for Central Methodist, that's Bobby Nichols, Valentin Cerna Jr., Tanner Sears, Zach Negron. That's Carlos Negron. Their designated hitter, Jeremy Conforte. Third baseman, Diego Duran. Zeb Weedy. Joseph Weatherford and David Soriano. So 1-0 lead. There you see Nate Brilliant coaching over the third. That's Trey Rosenfloss, the first base coach. Hopefully Central Methodist can get something going there. So far in the 2 games, they've outscored Graceland 24-2. Heading into today's doubleheader. We're in the bottom of the first inning. Rafael Severino getting some warm-up tosses there. And we should be getting ready to get going there. Nichols. One more toss coming in there from Rafael Severino. Actually, he'll have one more, according to the home plate umpire, Larry McCoy. Now we're ready to go as Trey Rosenflies gets over to the first base coach's box. And here's Bobby Nichols, a .391 hitter. 3 homers, 9 RBIs from Detroit. Of course, I want to say hi to his mom and dad. That's Mike, Nicole, his Aunt Gail. And I'm sure they're all watching him. Looking forward to meeting them, hopefully either around Easter Sunday or on senior weekend. First pitch to Bobby Nichols. A little bit inside, 1-0 to count. On Bobby Nichols, one of the most famous TV shows ever took place in Detroit, Home Improvement with Tim Allen. One of the best ones I like is where he challenged Bob Vila to a lawnmower race. 2-0 to count, and he ended up tweaking the lawnmower by putting a jet engine into it, and he ran it so fast, the lawnmower went on the interstate. 2 balls and no strike, 2-0 pitch. That's up high, 3-0 now. You wonder if Bobby Nichols has the green light from the third base coach, Nate Breland. I tell you one thing about Coach Breland. He has an IQ rating that reminds me of Tom Lasorda. He used to be in the manager of the Dodgers. 3-0 pitch. There's a strike, 3-1 there. 3 balls and a strike on Bobby Nichols. Bottom of the first inning, 1-0 Graceland. The 3-1 pitch. Swing and a miss, 3-2 now. 3 balls and 2 strikes on Bobby Nichols. Three and 2 to count. 3-2 pitch. Fouls it off to the right there. Heading into looks like the shrubberies on the right field side. Just a few feet past the Johnny Pesky's foul pole. When you look at this ballpark, it kind of reminds you of Fenway Park. 3-2 pitch. Strike 3 call, so 1 out now for Valentin Cerna Jr. 1 homer, 12 RBIs. He is from Ingleside, Illinois.
Valentin Cerna Jr.
Well, he's had a great doubleheader so far. First pitch. Fouls it to the screen. 0-1 now with Tanner Sears on deck. That's Carlos Negron. Central Methodist in the black uniform, green trim, green numerals. Birds on the bats. 0-1 the count. Here's the 0-1. Oh, into the dirt. 1-1 now. Tanner Sears on deck. From Ingleside, Illinois, around the Chicago area. 1-1 pitch. 2-1 now. On Valentin Cerna Jr. Central Methodist softball playing Central Baptist, game number 2. We should get a score there sooner or later. 2-1 pitch. 3-1 now on Valentin Cerna Jr. Tanner Sears is on deck. Three and 1 now on Valentin Cerna Jr. Just a beautiful day. 3-1 pitch. Takes a strike, 3-2. Some Dodger blue skies overlooking Estes Field. Boy, it feels like I'm at Dodger Stadium. Sitting in the Vin Scully press box. 3-2 pitch. That's ball 4 now. So a 1-out walk. Here is Tanner Sears from Higginsville, Missouri. 5 homers, 23 RBIs. Hit home run number 5 in the second game of that doubleheader. 2-run homer in that 4th inning. That gave Central Methodist that 9-0 victory. And there you see, of course, met his mom and dad, Shelly and Kurt Sears. Looks like Shelly is snapping away the pitcher, sporting the Polaroid camera. Cerner Jr. is at first. First pitch to him. That's outside, ball 1 with Carlos Negron on deck. Sears is second on the team with 23 RBIs. Second in home runs with 5. The 1-0. 2-0 to count. 2 balls and no strikes on Tanner Sears. Crowd starting to file in. 2-0 to count. Cerner Jr. is at first, drew a walk. The 2-0. That's a bit high. 3-0 to count. 3 balls and no strikes on Valentin Cerner Jr. 3-0 is the count there, and looks like pitchers will talk it over. So I see 3-0 is the count on Valentin Cerner Jr. You wonder if he has the green light.
This could be a long day. He got lost trying to do sports. He saw B and ball and he thought it was the other one. For some reason it's outside.
3-0 to count. 3-0 pitch. There's a strike on the inside corner. Now it's 3-1 now on Tanner Sears. You wonder if he can hit into the gaps or hit along the left field and the right fielder. Valentin Cerner Jr. could score from first on the double. 3-1. Oh, that hit him. So now you got first and second there. And 1 out. 1 out now for Carlos Negron. 9 homers, 25 RBIs. Leads the team in home runs with 25 RBIs. Trey Vorwall is the courtesy runner from Manteno, Illinois. Here's Negron up there. At second base is Cerna. At first base is Vorwall, the courtesy runner. First pitch to him. Swing and a miss. Strike 1. On deck is Jeremy Conforte. Oh, and 1 the count there. 0-1 now. Oh, ball 1. 1-1 the count on Carlos Negron. Valentin Cerner is at second. Drew a walk. Sears is on first. He was hit by a pitch. That's Verwall, the courtesy runner. 1-1 to count. Here's the 1-1. 2-1 to count. Jeremy Conforte is on deck. 2-1 to count on Carlos Negron. 1-0 lead for Graceland. They got a run in the first inning on the RBI single by Elio Navarez. 2-1 to count, 2-1 pitch. Way outside, 3-1 now. Three and 1 to count there. Here's the 3-1. Lines a shot into the right field corner. That is a fair ball. Cerner Jr. scores to tie the game at 1. Verwall is being waved around. There is no throw to the plate, and Central Methodist leads it 2-1 on the RBI double by Carlos Negron. And that's number 27 on the year there. So 2-1 lead now for Central Methodist. And here is Jeremy Conforte. Jeremy Conforte had 2 homers, 11 RBIs. That came in game number 1 there. So Negron's at second with 1 out. Here's the pitch. That is a strike call. 0-1 the count there. On deck is Diego Diorin. No balls and 1 strike. On second base is Carlos Negron. The 0-1. Ooh, inside. 1-1 now. On Jeremy Conforte. 1-1 now on Jeremy Conforte. One pitch. Hits a high pop-up into left field. I think Keith Whitaker has some room. Fighting the sun. And it's off the wall there. Negron will hold up at third. That'll be a double there. And now it's second and third now for Diego Diorin. No homers, 10 RBIs. 10 RBIs. He is sporting those pink gloves there. And I'm hoping so conference action there. So now second and third and still 1 out. There's Diorin. Of course, you know, next year I will be turning 50, and hopefully Diego can give me some of the pink gloves there for my 50th birthday. Legron's at third. Conforte's at second, and here's Diorin, lines a shot, and that's a fair ball. Legron will score. Conforte will score. Diorin will go to second with another double. And it's 4-1 Central Methodist. For Diorin, that's 12 RBIs on the year. And here's Zeb Weedy. 2 homers, 12 RBIs. Even though the program says Harrisburg, Missouri, but his hometown is Harrisburg, South Dakota. Of course, I got to meet his mother, Tiffany, his sister, Bryn. And I'm sure they're listening in. I want to say hi to them. First pitch to Zeb Weedy, and that's a ball. Oh, 1-0 to count. The 1-0 pitch. That's a ball. 2-0 to count. With on deck is Joseph Weatherford. At second base is Diego Diorin with the double. 4-1 Central Methodist. 2-0 pitch. That's a ball. 3-0 to count. Weatherford on deck. Three and 0 to count. 3-0 pitch. That's ball 4 to Zeb Weedy. Here's Joseph Weatherford. 2 homers, 10 RBIs. Of course, I like to say hi to his dad, Steve. Of course, his mom, Gayla. Of course, had a grand slam home run in game number 2. Part of that 5-run second inning there. I bet you he and Conforte could be some of the nominees for the Hardin Conference Player of the Week. You might say a whole slew of them, you might say. 4-1 Central Methodist. David Soriano is on deck. First, the 1-0 pitch. There's a strike call. 1-1 now. 1-1 on Joseph Weatherford. Quentin Norris sitting in the catbird seat. The 1-1. There's a strike. 1-2. 1-2 the count on Joseph Weatherford. 1 ball, 2 strikes. 1-2 pitch. That's missed outside. 2-2. David Soriano is on deck. 2-2 now on Joseph Weatherford. Second base, Dio Wren with a double. Wheaties at first with a walk. 2-2 pitch. Slices that one foul. 2-2. Two balls and 2 strikes on Joseph Weatherford. 2-2. 2-2 pitch. Lines a shot in there. That's a base hit there. Looks like Dio Wren will score the throw. They got Joseph Weatherford, so it's a single. And then gets thrown out, trying to stretch it to a double, but gets credit with an RBI. And for Joseph Weatherford, that's 11 on the year. And a 5-1 lead there. The Wren scores. Here's David Soriano. 2 homers, 6 RBIs. So 4 hits already for Central Methodist and a quick 5-1 lead there. After Graceland got 1 in the first, boy, Central Methodist got some runs back of their own with 5. Put up a big 5 spot there. Soriano's the 9th man. Time call. Looks like a ball is on the field. At least it's not the Bob Newhart show. If you remember the episode where Jerry Robinson and Bob Newhart were watching Monday Night Football, they had a dog on the field. One 0 to count. There's a strike on the outside corner. 1-1 now. One ball, 1 strike. 1-1 on David Soriano. Hits a ground ball. There's a base hit. Zeb Weedy scores and make it 6-1 now. And Soriano has 7 RBIs on the year. And Bobby Nichols is the 10th man to bat. He struck out his first time up.
Center fielder, number 5, Bobby Nichols.
Struck out his first time up. 6 big runs there. That will make Foster Stites' job a lot easier. First pitch. A curveball missed inside. 1-0 now. One ball, no strikes on Bobby Nichols. The 1-0. Swing and a miss. Strike 1. 1-1 to count. 1-1 on Bobby Nichols. One pitch. And he lines a shot into right center field. Soriano he is waved around. Nichols will score. Here's the throw, not in time. 7-1 Central Methodist on a double by Bobby Nichols. And for Bobby Nichols, that's number 10 on the year. And here's Valentin Cerna Jr. He drew a walk his first time up.
Second base, number 7, Valentin Cerna Jr.
Valentin Cerna Jr., the 11th man to bat this inning. Of course, if you remember in game number 1 against Graceland, they had 11 men went to the plate, part of that 8-run inning there. And it's a ball. Seven to 1, Central Methodist, a big 7 spot. There's a strikeout, or Bob Barker would say that's called lucky number 7. Tanner Sears is on deck. 1-1 to count. 1-1. Lines a shot. That's up against the wall there. Nichols will score easily. And it's now 8-1. Here's the throw, not in time. So back-to-back doubles. 8-1 Central Methodist. And Valentin Cerna has 13 RBIs, a baker's dozen. And looks like we're going to have a pitching change. It's time to call the bullpen. It's sponsored by the Commercial Trust Bank. Huh? Okay.
Bales takes the shot, whips it in, and it's in the back of the net!
Eight to 1 Central Methodist. Gabriel Perez on the mound there. He has 2-1, 1.80 ERA from Dakota City, Iowa. Of course, he's made one appearance there for Gabriel Perez. He was the DH yesterday. He went 0 for 3 as the DH. So far, 2/3 of an inning for Rafael Severino. Eight to 1 Central Methodist. Already 7 hits now. And Tanner Sears will be the 12th man to bat. Still 2 outs. Valentin Cerna Jr. is at second. Sears was hit by a pitch his first time up and was lifted by Trey Verwall as a courtesy runner. Valentin Cerna Jr. is at second on the double. First pitch to him. Lines a shot. That is a base hit there. Here comes Valentin Cerna Jr. to score to make it 9-1 Central Methodist. 24 RBIs now for Tanner Sears. There's Carlos Legron. Hit a big 2-run double down the right field line. That gave Central Methodist a 2-1 lead there. Looks like Foster Seitz is getting some warm-up action as Trey Verwald is the courtesy runner. Foster Seitz is going to have at least an 8-run lead to work with. First pitch. That is a ball, 1-0 now. Last Sunday in the second game against Columbia, they scored 22 runs. Could we see that happening again? But we'll wait and see in the next few innings. 2 balls and no strikes on Carlos Negron. Jeremy Conforti is on deck. 2-0 pitch. Lines a shot in the left field. Keith Whitaker looks it up. That's off the Green Monster. There's the throw to second. They might got him. There's the throw home. Not in time. The ball dropped, and it's 10-1. So I bet you that's going to be a double. An RBI from Negron, 3 of them already. And it's 10-1 Central Methodist.
Now batting, designated hitter, number 33, Jeremy Conforti.
Here's Jeremy Conforti. He doubled his first time up. 6-10. First pitch to him. That is a ball, 1-0. That was when the left fielder, Keith Whitaker, lost it in the sunlight. 10-1 Central Methodist. The 1-0. I believe he went around. That is a strike call. 1-1 now with Diego Duran on deck. I think Carlos Negron should get his name thrown in for the Highland American Conference Player of the Week. They'll probably announce it tomorrow. And why not? 1-1 to count, the 1-1. It's a fly ball to right field. Right fielder calls for it and makes the catch there. So 10 runs, 9 hits, no errors, and they leave 1, and they sent 14 men to the plate. We head to the top of the second inning. Central Methodist 10, Graceland 1. Ten runs, 9 hits, no errors for Central Methodist. 1 run, 3 hits, and no errors for Graceland. Here's J.D. Woodruff. No homers, 2 RBIs on the year. From Crosby, Texas. First pitch to him. Oh, inside, 1-0 to count there. Graceland's got run in the first, but Central Methodist had 10 big runs in the bottom of the first. The 1-0 pitch. Fouls it off. 1-1 there. Hopefully we'll get an update on the game with Central Baptist. I think they were scheduled at 11:15 a.m. Hopefully they can finish the road trip 4-0. 2-1 to count. William Pagan on deck. 2-1 pitch. 3-1 now. Three one pitch. Hits the ground ball. Just by the first baseman, Joseph Weatherford. There's a base hit there. The 4th hit of the game for Graceland. Here is William Pagan. No homers, 2 RBIs.
Now batting center fielder, number 16, William Pagan.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. First pitch to Pagan. Oh, bit high. 1-0 to count on William Pagan. Game number 2 to follow after this. Scheduled for 2:30. The 1-0. Fouls it off. Strike 1. On deck is Ramseel Jerez. 1-1 to count. 1-1 pitch. That hit him. No, I believe that's a foul ball. Yeah, it's a dead. So it's looks like the training staff will check on William Pagan. Now the umpires will talk it over. So now it looks like he is so first and second now for Ramsey Jerez. No homers, no RBIs on the year. Now Nate Breland wants an explanation there from the umpire, from the home plate umpire. He thought maybe he swung at it, but the umpire says sorry.
Third baseman, number 13, Ramsey Jerez.
So now first and second, nobody out. So Foster Side just needs to talk to the baseball, point to the catcher. Ten to 1, Central Methodist. 10 big runs in the first. A pitch to him. There's a strike call. 0-1 now. On deck, Nicholas Boskin. 1-1 to count there. One and one to count. The 1-1. There's a strike on the outside corner. 1-2. 1-2 now. Here's the 1-2. Fly ball center field. Bobby Nichols should have some room there. Makes the catch for out number 1 and headed to third is J.D. Woodruff. So 1 out now. And runners are at the corners for Nicholas Boskin from Carrasquez, Venezuela. A 200 hitter, no homers, 1 RBI. First and third. And a strike on the outside corner. 0-1 to count on Nicholas Boskin. On to count. The 0-1. Swing and a miss. 0-2. As Kirk Gowdy say, he was just reaching back for something extra. 0-2 the count. Infield looks like end at the corners. And up the middle at normal depth, anticipating a double play ball. 0-2 pitch. Misses that one high. 1-2 now. Keith Whitaker's on deck. One and two to count. 1-2 pitch. That's a bit high. 2-2 now. Foster just needs to talk to the baseball. Just like Mark the Bird Fidgers used to do for the Detroit Tigers. 2-2 pitch. Lines a shot ground ball, and Weather will take the easy play. He was checking on the runner, but he thought, I'll just take the easy out there, and that was smart. He would have had a hard time getting Pagan at second, and Woodruff stayed at first, so 2 outs now. So Keith Whitaker, he singled. He was forced out of third on the 5-3-5 double play when Jacob Lopez tries to lay down a bunt on a great throw by Durin and a good job of recognition by Joseph Weatherford, throwing over to third for the second out. First pitch to him. Round ball foul, strike 1. 0-1 to count. 10-1 Central Methodist. Looking for 14 victories, but important number, 3-0 in the conference. Still have a long ways to go. The 0-1 now. There's a strike on the outside corner. Good job of framing it, as the great Tony Kubek would say on NBC television. 0-2 the count on Keith Whitaker, the 0-2. 1-2, did he go? No, sir. 1-2 now. Right here, he went instead. So 1-2 now. At third base is J.D. Woodruff. Second base is William Pagan. 1-2 the count on Keith Whitaker. 10-1 Central Methodist. 1-2 pitch. That's a bit high. 2-2. 2-2 the count. Twos across the board, as the great Snoop Dogg would say on the Joker's Wild. 2-2 pitch. Slices that one foul up against the screen, heading toward the Central Methodist dugout. Two and two the count on Keith Whitaker. 2-2 pitch. Slices that one foul. That's heading toward the parking lot. Looked like it hit the roof. So 2-2 now. Looks like. So 2-2 to count on Keith Whitaker. At third base, J.D. Woodruff, he singled. Pagan was hit by a pitch while attempting to bunt. First, Major League Baseball will be starting up 25 days. Defending World Series champion Texas Rangers take on the Chicago Cubs. 6:30 p.m. 2-2 pitch. Nice stop by Tanner Sears. The Cardinals opened up their season hanging on the Dodgers in a 4-game series. I believe that's at 3 p.m. there. And then, of course, 4 weeks from today, they'll be taking on the Dodgers on Sunday Night Baseball, the first Sunday Night Baseball game of 2024. 3-2 pitch. Hits a fly ball to left. I think Weedy has some room to make the catch for the third out. So no runs on one hit, no errors. They leave two. We head to the bottom of the second inning. Central Methodist 10, Graceland 1. You haven't heard about softball yet? Okay. I think they should be done by now.
Looks like they're in the bottom of the sixth, tied 2-2.
Wow.
What's the softball score?
Yeah,
What is it?
2-2.
Did we win the second game yesterday?
Yeah, we did.
I thought we did.
Yeah. It was like, hey, 2-1.
Yeah, that's right.
And then we won the first game to 8-0
Yep.
on a two-hitter. On a two-hitter by Haley Cotter.
Collar through it.
That was today. Today's game.
Ten runs, 9 hits, no errors for Central Methodist. 1 run, 4 hits, and no errors for Graceland. 2-2 tie, bottom of the sixth inning down in Gulf Shores, Alabama, between Central Methodist and Central Baptist.
Third base is number 4, Diego Dareen.
Here's Diego Doreen. He double in 2 runs his first time up there. Gave him a total of 12. First pitch to him from Venezuela. That's a ball. 1-0 to count there. Zeb Weedy is on deck. And then followed by Joseph Weatherford. The 1-0. Lines a shot. Foul. 1-1 now. One and one to count. 1-1 pitch. Slices that one foul. 1-2 on Diego Diorin. One and two now on Diego Diorin. Carlos Perez, starting pitcher. Rafael Sereno went 2/3 of an inning. Did he go? No, sir. 2-2 to count. 2-2 the count on Diego Diorin. 10-1 lead for Central Methodist. 2-2 pitch. That's ball. 3-2 there. Zeb Weedy is on deck. Three and two to count. 3-2 pitch. There's a high pop up there. Looks like the right field calls for it, and there's out number one. One out now for Zeb Weedy. He drew a walk his first time up. In that first inning, Central Methodist sent 14 men went to the plate. Of course, hit home run number 2. And of course, I know his mom, Tiffany, was very happy. Strike call, 0-1 now. 2-run homer came in the second game yesterday in the third inning, and I'm sure his mom is smiling from ear to ear. The 0-1 now. And he fouls it off, strike 2. 0-2 to count on Zeb Weedy. 1-2, 0-2 pitch. Oh, that hit him. Oh, my. So Weedy gets hit by a pitch. There's Joseph Weatherford. He singled, but then was thrown out trying to stretch it to a double. Was credited with an RBI. And Weatherford, so far in these 3 games, he has a total of 5 RBIs. 7 RBIs already in 3 games. He should be the front runner for the Conference Player of the Week. The 0-1 now. Swing and a miss. 0-2. 6. Homer and 7 RBIs in these 3 games so far for Joseph Weatherford. 0-2 to count with Weedy at first. He was hit by a pitch. That's a ball. 1-2 now with David Soriano on deck. The 1-2. Lines up base hit there for Joseph Weatherford. Stopping at second is Weedy with a 1-out single. He has really swung the bat well in these 3 games against Graceland. There's David Soriano. Single, drove in a run his first time up. Looks like they may see. That is Peyton Becker coming to bat there. Coming to be the courtesy batter for David Soriano. 167 hitter, homer and 4 RBIs. He is from a town of Merrill, Wisconsin, around the Milwaukee area. One of the most famous TV shows that ever took place was the show of Laverne and Shirley. That was a fun little show. They had Penny Marshall, Cindy Williams. One out, first and second. And a strike call there on Peyton Becker. Of course, I want to say hi to another famous celebrity that lives in Milwaukee, the great Bob Uecker, getting his 54th year as the voice of the Brewers. He just turned 90 this past January. Ball one now. 1-1 to count. Also, former Major League Baseball commissioner Bud Selig. 1-1 now on Peyton Becker. 1-1 pitch. 2-1 to count. Bobby Nichols is on deck. Two and one now on Peyton Becker. You wonder if he has the green light. 2-1 pitch. Oh, on the outside corner on the curveball. 2-2. Bottom of the second inning, 10-1. 10 big runs in the first inning after Graceland got one in the first. Two-two pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike three call. So 2 outs now for Bobby Nichols. 1 for 2 with a double and an RBI.
Now batting center fielder number 5, Bobby Nichols.
Nichols 1 for 2 there from Detroit. Home of the Detroit Tigers won the World Series back in 1984. They had some great ball players there like Alan Trammell, Lou Whitaker, Lance Parrish, Jack Morris. They have a probably finest relief pitcher that won the Cy Young and MVP, Willie Hernandez, the master of the screwball. And Sparky Anderson first saw him when he was doing the World Series game back in 1983 on CBS radio when Willie Hernandez was pitching for the Philadelphia Phillies. 1-1 to count. Also, their finest announcer they had for a long time named Ernie Harwell. 1-1. That's a bit outside. 2-1 to count on Bobby Nichols. Bottom of the second inning, 10-1 Central Methodist. First and second, 2-1 pitch. That's a bit inside. 3-1 now. On deck is Valentin Cerna Jr. Three and one now on Bobby Nichols. 3-1 pitch. And it's ball 4 now. And the bases are loaded full of Eagles. Here's Valentin Cerna Jr. 1 for 1 with a double and RBI. That's 13 RBIs on the air. Would it be sweet? His second home run would be a grand slam. Would that be exciting? First pitch. There's the curveball strike. 0-1 now. 0-1 the count on Valentin Cerna Jr. Lefty-lefty matchup. 10-1. Quentin Norris in the catbird seat. The 0-1. Fouls it to the screen. If Harry Carey was in there, Harry Carey would try to catch it in his net. Oh, 2 to count on Valentin Cerna Jr. 0-2 pitch. Little fist job, and the shortstop makes the catch. So no runs on 1 hit, no errors, 3 left. We're through 2. Central Methodist 10 and Graceland 1 on the Hart Conference Network.
Whips it in, and it's in the back of the net!
10 runs, 10 hits, no errors for Central Methodist. 1 run, 4 hits, and no errors for Graceland. Here's Jacob Lopez. He hit into a 5-3-5 double play. That was when he was trying to lay down the bunt. Valentin Diego Duran threw over to Joseph Weatherford to get Lopez, and then threw over to third to get Keith Whitaker. That was a big way to start off there with that double play. First pitch. There's a strike on the inside corner. 0-1 the count on Jacob Lopez. Oh and 1 the count. That's a ball. 1-1 the count there. 1-1 on Jacob Lopez. 1-1 pitch. Fouls it off. Strike 2. 1-2 the count. One and two the count on Jacob Lopez. 1-2 pitch is a high foul ball. Zach Tanabe is on deck. One and two the count. The 1-2. Another foul ball. Still 1-2. One and two on Jacob Lopez. The 1-2. Little number foul. That's a foul ball. They got him out. It looked like rolled foul, but rolled back in. I have a feeling that's going to be 2-3 on the scorecard there. So 1 out now. Yeah, interference. So it's 2 U? Okay, so it's 2 unassisted there, according to Tim Crowley. And now the Graceland coach wants an explanation. It looked like it was rolling foul. The ball went fair, but Lopez was interfered when Tanner Sears was trying to make the throw to first, anticipating the ball went fair. But, so it's out number 1 there for Zach Tanabe. He singled his first time up. Zach Tanabe singled. So 1 out now in the top of the third. First pitch. There's a strike call. 0-1 now. 0-1 the count. 0-1 now is a foul ball. Strike 2. Oh and 2 the count there. 0-2 pitch. 1-2 the count. One-two pitch. Foul ball, still 1-2. 1-2 the count on Zach Tanabe. 1 out in the top of the third. 10-1 Central Methodist. Tanabe, a right-handed batter with Ilio Navarez. Fouls it off. 1-2. Of course, after this, Central Methodist baseball will be on a 4-game road trip to Oskaloosa, Iowa, take on William Penn. Doubleheader on Saturday, 1 and 3:30. Sundays at 1 and 3:30 there. Next home game is March 15th, 3-game series with Waldorf. Fouls it off. Doubleheader on Saturdays at 1 and 3:30. And then the Saturday game, I'm thinking that's going to be a 9-inning game. That's at 1 o'clock. So 1-2 to count on Zach Tanabe. 1-2 pitch. Fouls it to the screen. Elio Navarez is on deck. 1-2 the count. The 1-2. Lines it, foul by an eyelash. 1-2 the count. 1-2 now on Zach Tanabe. 1-2 pitch. Hits the fly ball in the left center field. That's hit well. Going back and gone. A home run for Zach Tanabe. And it's 10-2 now. And for Zach Tanabe, that's his second of the year. RBI number 10. They close the gap to 10-2. Here is Elio Navarez. Single, drove in a run his first time up. Navarez has 12 RBIs on the season. First pitch to him. That is a ball, 1-0 to count. Trevor Yorgis is on deck. The 1-0. Fouls that one off. Let's see who calls for it. I think Soriano makes the catch. Oh, baby, what a play. Hey, Ozzie Smith will be smiling from there. And as the great Mel Allen would say, how about that? If that was on This Week in Baseball, that would be the top 5 players of the week on This Week in Baseball. And it's Trevor Yorgis after he struck out his first time up. The first pitch. That's a ball, 1-0 to count. 1 ball, no strikes. The 1-0. Fouls it off, 1-1. On Trevor Yorgis. One pitch. That's a ball, 2-1. 2-1 pitch. Swing and a miss, 2-2. Two and two to count. 2s across the board. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Tags out by Tanner Sears. So 1 run on 1 hit on a home run by Zach Tanabe gives Central Methodist a 10-2 lead heading into the bottom of the 3rd inning. Ten runs, 10 hits, no errors for Central Methodist. 2 runs, 5 hits, and no errors for Graceland. Central Methodist got all 10 runs in the first inning. Here's Tanner Sears, singled and drove in a run his first time up. Sears already 24 RBIs. That's a ball inside there. 1-0 the count. I bet you Clayton Burke could be a nominee for the pitcher of the week after a two-hitter against Graceland. 2 balls and no strike. Of course, Central Methodist softball already won. 8-0 victory over Texarkana on a 2-hit performance. A 2-hit shutout by Haley Cotter. 2-0 pitch. Lines a shot over the second baseman. Has it. That's a base hit. Then the right fielder drops it. And that will be Sears headed for 3. So it'll be a single that takes third on the error by the right fielder. So an error on the right field for allowing Tanner Sears to go to third. Trey Verwall. Here's Carlos Legrand. 2 for 2 with 2 doubles and 3 RBIs. So Legrand already with 3 RBIs there. Gives him 28. Verwall is the courtesy runner, and it's a ball. 10-2 Central Methodist. Jeremy Conforti is on deck. The 1-0. Outside, 2-0 to count. Verwall's at third with no outs. 2-0 on Legrand. 28 already this season. 2-0 pitch. 3-0 to count. Three and 0 to count. 3-0 pitch. Fouls it to the screen. 3-1 now. Three and 1 to count. On Carlos Legrand. 3-1 pitch. I think he'd go. Yes, he did. 3-2. On deck is Jeremy Conforti. Three and two now. 3-2 now on Legrand. And he lines a shot in the center field. That is a base hit off the wall there. Legrand rounding first. He'll stop at second. And 4 RBIs on today for Carlos Legrand to make it 11-1. 11-2 now. Conforti 1 for 2 with a double. 11-2 now. Last Sunday, in the second game against Columbia College, they scored 22 runs. Could we see that happening? We'll just wait and see. Nobody out. First pitch. That's a ball. 1-0 to count with Diego Durin on deck. 4 RBIs already. Six already in this 3-game series by Legrand. 2-0 to count. I think he, Weatherford, are probably my top 2 nominees for the Heart American Conference Player of the Week. I think Clayton Burke will be the third one. Could win the Pitcher of the Week. And a high pop foul. 2-1 now. Two and 1 now on Jeremy Conforti. Nobody out. Bottom of the third inning. 11-2 Central Methodist. Ron's at second. 2-1 pitch. 3-1 now. 3-1 now on Jeremy Conforte. 3-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. 3-2 now. Three and two now on Jeremy Conforte. LeBron's at second. 4 RBIs already so far. 3-2. Here's the ground ball to the second baseman. Throws over the first for out number 1, and LeBron hits the third. Here's Diego Duran, 1 for 2 with a double and 2 RBIs.
Third baseman, number 4, Diego Darin.
Doreen, 2 RBIs, sporting those pink gloves there. Hopefully he has an extra pair of these for next year when I turn 50. Fouls it to the screen, 0-1 now. I will tell you this, so if not, if you're listening in, if you know anybody that has some pink batting gloves, please save one for next year. 0-1 to count. It's a high fly ball, hit well. That is going back, and Keith Whitaker makes the catch against the wall. So a sac fly works there for Diego Duran. Negron scores to make it 12-2. And Negron has a total of 13. Zeb Weedy 0 for 0. He's been on base twice, walk, and he was also hit by a pitch. First pitch, that's a ball. Twelve to 2, Central Methodist, bottom of the third.
Wasn't because it should actually have been recorded. It was just allowed into the veins. That's why the first one was unearned.
The 1-0.
He had advanced those 2 bases. He wouldn't have scored on that level. He would have scored on that last.
2 balls and no strikes. On deck is Joseph Weatherford. 2-0 pitch. Bounces away, 3-0. Three and 0 to count on Zeb Weedy. 3-0 pitch. Takes it all the way. 3-1. Three and 1 now on Zeb Weedy. Three one. Chopper fouled. 3-2 now on Zeb Weedy. I'm sure I'd like to say hi to his mom, Tiffany, his sister, Bryn, all listening in from Harrisburg, South Dakota. Three-two pitch. And that's a chopper. That's a fair ball. Oh, that's a foul ball. 3-2 now. Of course, I had a great talk with Tiffany after the second game of that doubleheader. Great visit with her. 3-2 pitch. Strike 3 call, but Central Methodist gets 2 runs on 2 hits, 1 error, and they leave no one. We head to the 4th inning. Central Methodist 12, Graceland 2 on the Hart Conference Network. 12 runs, 12 hits, no errors for Central Methodist. 2 runs, 5 hits, and an error for Grace. It looks like Landon Willingham is rolling up, throwing some footballs there along with Cooper Keel, maybe Marcus Pritchard, and I think it's a left-hander.
Leading up the Yellow Jackets, catcher number 25, J.D. Woodruff.
There's J.D. Woodruff, singled his first time up. Osterseitz with a 12-2 lead. First pitch. That is a ball, 1-0 to count. Woodruff singled. The 1-0. That's missed. 2-0 to count. In the top of the fourth inning. 12-2 is our score. Game 2 follows, scheduled for 2:30. Two balls and no strikes. 2-0 pitch. Ball 3. 3-0. Wind starting to blow in there. Nice little breeze. About 22 miles an hour. 3-0 pitch. That's ball 4. So leadoff walk. Here's William Pagan. He was hit by a pitch his first time up.
Now batting center fielder number 16, William Pagan.
Pagan hit by a pitch. Woodruff's at first. First pitch to him. It's a high pop up there. I think who's called for it? And that's Weatherford makes the catch for out number 1. So 1 pitch. And there's 1 out now for Ramsero Yerez.
Now batting third baseman number 13,
Ramsell Yerez. He flew out to Bobby Nichols his first time up. They check on him. Back goes J.D. Woodruff. Twelve to 2, Central Methodist. The first pitch to him. To Urez, and it's a ball. 1-0 to count. 1 ball, no strikes on Urez. The 1-0. That's ball 2. 2-0 to count. Two and 0 to count on Ramsell Urez. 2-0 pitch. Strike. 2-1 now. Two balls and a strike. 2-1 pitch. Low cue shot. Cerna to Soriano. The first double play. 4-6-3 double play. Your pitcher's best friend. No runs, no hits, no errors, and no one let down. We're halfway home. Central Methodist 12, Graceland 2. You haven't heard how softball did? Or? Okay.
I'm looking it up.
Oh, okay.
They're currently tied 4-4 in the bottom of the ninth with 2 outs.
Wow.
Yep. Our number 23 is up to bat. Who is that? Liz?
Elizabeth Palumbo.
She had a double earlier. So, we'll see how she does this time.
Okay. That's number 50 for us. New pitcher on the mound, Victor Leonardo, 0-0 ERA at 9, 2 walks and a strikeout from Santo Domingo, Dominican Republic. So we're in the fourth inning. 12 runs, 12 hits, no errors for Central Methodist, 2 runs, 5 hits, and 1 error for Graceland. Where's the number 50, like the great Cardinal great Adam Wainwright.
Now pitching for the Yellow Jackets, number 50, Victor Leonardo.
Of course, game 2 will follow Raymond Ochoa. Ray Ochoa will start in game number 2 there, according to Jordan Schwambach. Here's Joseph Weatherford, 2 for 2 with 2 singles and an RBI.
Leading out for the Eagles, first baseman, number 29, Joseph Weatherford.
First pitch from Victor Leonardo. Here it comes. Strike. 0-1 in the count there. In the bottom of the 4th inning there. So 2 and a third from Carlos Perez. The 0-1. That's a bit high. 1-1 now. 1-1 now. One ball and a strike on Joseph Weatherford. 1-1. On the outside corner, strike 2. 1-2 to count. 1-2 to count, followed by David Soriano and then Bobby Nichols. 1-2 pitch. Way outside. Or as Bob Euchre would say, he tried the corner and missed. Two and two the count there on Joseph Weatherford from Flower Mound, Texas, but they live in Batesville, Arkansas. Around the Dallas there. 2-2 pitch. High pop foul. That's going to go out of play. Two and two the count on Joseph Weatherford. Looks like one of the Central Methodist baseball players trying to help. Looks like Steven, that's Nate Breland's son out there. 2-2 pitch. 3-2 now. Soriano, he's batted one time, but of course he was pinch hit and then came back in the third inning by Peyton Becker. 3-2 the count. 3-2 pitch. Little pop-up. That's going to go foul. That's Jordan Schwallenbach checking to see where the baseball went. Three and two the count. 3-2 pitch. Way outside, ball 4. And here's David Soriano, single and drove in a run his first time up.
Shortstop, number 2, David Soriano.
First pitch to him. That's a ball, 1-0 to count. One and 0 on David Soriano. Where's number 2? Like the great shortstop Derek Jeter. Ooh, that hit him. So now first and second, and nobody out there for Bobby Nichols. He's been at bat 4 times in 4 innings. 1 for 2 with a double and an RBI.
Number 5, Bobby Nichols.
Weatherford's at second. Looks like time call.
Want an update on softball?
Yeah.
It looks like they just won in the bottom of the ninth. 5-4 was the final score after after a double hit by pinch hitter Brent.
Oh, Cassidy Bryn?
Yeah, she was hitting for Joe because she started at second as the international tiebreaker run.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So Central Methodist softball, they went 4-0 down in Gulf Shore. 5-4 victory on the game-winning RBI by. So now another hit batsman by Cassidy Brent. So Central Methodist softball, they're 13-2 on the year. They'll take on St. Mary in a doubleheader there on Thursday at 2 o'clock for a doubleheader. Second game at 4, and then 6 p.m. is the NHL game between the St. Louis Blues and the New Jersey Devils. And then softball will be action on Friday, taking on Williams Baptist at 2 p.m. So bases loaded for Eagles for Valentin Cerna Jr. 1 for 2 with a double and an RBI. First pitch. Little chin music there. 1-0 to count. Sears is on deck. 12-2 Central Methodist. One-0 pitch. There's a strike, 1-1 there on Valentin Cerna Jr. Tanner Sears on deck. One and one to count on Valentin Cerna Jr. The 1-1. Outside, 2-1. 2-1 now with Tanner Sears on deck. Bases loaded full of Eagles. Nobody out. Bottom of the 4th inning. Time called. 3-1 to count. So a delay game call makes it 3-1. 3-1 to count. 3-1. That's another pitch inside. Results in a run scored by Weatherford. Bobby Nichols goes to second, and Valentin Cerna. Was he hit by a pitch, Tim? Okay. So a hit batsman. Still nobody out. And it's now 13-2. It looks like another pitching change. He pitched to 4 batters. He got no one out. Okay.
Bales takes this shot, whips it in, and it's in the back of the net!
New pitcher on the mound, that's Isaiah Omiak from Honolulu, Hawaii. The most famous TV show ever took place, Hawaii Five-0, the original version with Jack Lord. And of course, that was a fun little show. Lasted for 12 years on television. And of course, also, Honolulu is where the Hawaiian Islanders used to play their home games at. At one time, their big rivals was Spokane, the Dodgers AAA affiliate. At one time, their manager was Tom Lasorda. And every time when Spokane made a trip to Honolulu to take on the Hawaii team, Tom Lasorda gets thrown out of the game. And he ends up having to listen to it in the Dodger clubhouse behind the center field fence. And the radio announcer was Al Michaels. And one time made a telephone call to Al Campanis wanting to hire Al Michaels to be their radio announcer. Well, of course, the Dodgers had Vin Scully as their announcer. Here's Tanner Sears up there. Fourth pitcher already for Graceland. Sears is 2 for 2, 2 singles. Bases loaded, full Eagles, still nobody out. That's a ball, 1-0 to count there. Bottom of the fourth inning, 13-2 Central Methodist. The 1-0 pitch. Oh, that hit him again. Oh, my. Second run score without a hit, and already it's 14-2 now. And Sears has 25 RBIs. So here's Carlos Negron. Negron, 3 for 3, 3 doubles and 4 RBIs. Looks like Troy Vorwald is the courtesy runner. All 2 of the runs score without a hit. And there's still nobody out. Amazing, isn't it? (14-2). Gron has that. Would be sweet. Number 10 would be a grand slam. It's a high fly ball. I think he had it. It is to left field. It's a grand slam home run for Carlos Negron. And how about that? 8 RBIs on today. Give him a total of 33. And Central Methodist has an 18-2 lead. Scoring 6 big runs there. Here's Jeremy Conforti.
Designated hitter number 33, Jeremy Conforti.
1 for 3 with a double. 8 RBIs. I think he's already locked up the Conference Player of the Week. First pitch to Conforti. Ball 1 there. Just 1 hit in that inning. I believe that's a school record. I think that's the most number of RBIs I've ever seen in my 31 years of broadcasting, most notably around Central Methodist. 18-2 and a swing and a miss, strike 1. Diego Dioren is on deck. Bottom of the fourth inning, 6 big runs on just 1 hit. 2-1 pitch. Hits the ground ball to short. Throws over the first for out number 1. So 1 out now. Here is Diego Dioren. 1 for 2 with a double and 3 RBIs on today.
Third baseman number 4, Diego Dari.
That's the second straight time we've seen a Central Methodist player hit a grand slam. Remember yesterday in the second game, Joseph Weatherford hit a grand slam in the second inning. That gave Central Methodist a 4-0 lead and added another run to fit. Another run to make it 5-0 after 2. First pitch. Foul ball. 8 RBIs, 10 homers, 33 RBIs already this season for Carlos Negron. 0-1 to count. The 0-1. Low fly ball. Right fielder calls for it. There's 2 outs. So 2 outs now for Zeb Weedy. 0 for 1 there on today. He was also drew a walk and was hit by a pitch as Foster Sites doing some warm-ups there with Cooper Keel. The ninth man to bat this inning. First pitch. That's a ball. In the second inning, Central Methodist sent 14 men to the plate. 18-2. The 1-0. Swing and a miss. Strike one. 1-1 on Zeb Weedy. Looks like one of the baseball players was retrieving the home run ball hit by Carlos Negron. Hits a ground ball up the middle. There's a base hit there for Zeb Weedy. 14 hits already for Central Methodist. And now here's Joseph Weatherford. He started that 4th inning off with a walk.
First baseman, number 29, Joseph Weatherford.
2 for 2. First pitch. Ball 1 there. David Soriano is on deck. Bottom of the 4th inning. The 10th man to bat. Ball 2. 2-0 to count there. On Joseph Weatherford. They throw over there to check on Zeb Weedy. Two-0 pitch. 3-0 to count. 3-0 on Joseph Weatherford. The 3-0 pitch. Strike. 3-1 now. 3 balls and 1 strike on Joseph Weatherford with 2 outs in the bottom of the 4th. They throw over there. Foster Sites fouls it off. Still 3-2 now. Three, 2. Swing and a miss, strike 3 call. So 6 runs on just 2 hits. No errors. 1 left. We head to the top of the 5th. Central Methodist 18. Graceland 2 on the Hart Conference Network. Oh, okay. Nothing major. Just I have ours. That's no problem.
For softball, we had 12 hits
Wow.
and 1 error, and Central Baptist had 8 hits and 2 errors.
8 hits and 2 errors. Oh, okay. That's what I need to know. I just want to make sure. 18 runs, 14 hits, no errors. 2 runs, 5 hits. and there for Graceland. Central Methodist softball completed the road trip 4-0. They're now 13-2 on the year with a 5-4 victory thanks to a game-winning hit by Cassidy Brent. The Lions scored 5 runs, 12 hits in there for Central Methodist, 4-8-2 for Central Methodist. It is Nicholas Boskin, the batter. 200, who rounded out to Joseph Weatherford.
Right fielder, number 5, Nicholas Bosco. You got 40 coming up next.
First pitch, fouls it off, strike one. Strike two, 0-2 the count. Oh and 2 the count. Strike three call, so 1 out now. Here's Keith Whitaker, 1 for 2 with a single.
What number?
That's 40. That's Ian Martinez, the pinch hitter there. 125 hitter, no homers, and an RBI. No pitch to him. That's a strike on the inside corner, 0-1 now. Ian Martinez is from Puerto Rico. Two and one now. 2-1 pitch. Swing and a miss, 2-2. Two balls and 2 strikes. 2-2 pitch. Fouls it all, 2-2.
Okay.
2-2 the count there. 2-2 pitch is a fly ball in the left field. That is up in the left field corner there. Martinez is rounding first. He'll stop at second with the 6th hit of the game.
Your attention, please. Now batting, number 4, Landon McKillop.
Landon McKillop, that is the coach's son. Osterstein's on the mound. There's a strike, 0-1 there. Strike two, 0-2 the count. Oh and 2 the count on Landon McKillop from Lamont, Iowa. That's where Graceland is located. Most famous athlete, Bruce Jenner, won the gold medal in the decathlon in the 1976 Summer Olympics. That was in Montreal at Olympic Stadium. 0-2 pitch. And it's the same stadium where the Expos used to play. The best way to remember that one, they used to have the running track around between the third base dugout behind home plate and the first base dugouts. 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike three call. So 2 outs now. That looks like Matt Kozlowski is the pinch hitter.
Your attention, please. Now batting, number 15, Matt Konzinski.
Matt Kozinski from Cottage Grove, Wisconsin, around the Milwaukee area. Strike call, 0-1 to count. 18-2, Central Methodist. The 0-1 now. Hits the ground ball to Valentin Cerna Jr. Throws over to Weatherford for the third out. So no runs on one hit, no errors. They leave one. We head to the bottom of the fifth. Central Methodist 18, Graceland 2 on the Heart Conference Network.
That's a good question. I think Ryan will see. So, left field.
That's Martinez, yeah.
Got 40 staying in left field. 4. Second, let's take a look and see.
Where's that second?
4's at second, yep.
And 15's
First. 23. 23 for 19 in the 5 hole.
and they moved their.
Hey, what about the 3-0?
I think he's out in center field.
Shortstop, number 9. That was the pitcher, pitcher 2. 14.
18 runs, 14 hits, no errors. 2 runs, 6 hits, and an error for Graceland. And there's a new pitcher on the mound. That's Isaac Rebello. 0-1 with ERA 36 with 4 walks and 2 strikeouts from Fullerton, California. Looks like Martinez stays out and left. That is Yerez moves over to short. The 15, that's Kozinski, is at third.
Shortstop, number 2, Soriano.
Soriano 1 for 1 with a single. And he was lifted for a pincher in the second inning by Peyton Becker, who struck out. First pitch. There's a strike, 0-1 now. No balls and 1 strike. Bottom of the fifth inning. 18-2. The 0-1 fouls it off, 0-2. Looks like a new first baseman there. That's Gabriel Quevedo. New first baseman. He will do up in the number 5 spot there. 0-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 3 call. They have to throw over the first to complete the out. There's 1 out now for Bobby Nichols. He's been up to the plate 5 times in 5 innings. 1 for 2 with a double and an RBI.
15?
First pitch to Bobby Nichols. Chops it foul. Strike 1. Looks like Valentin Cerna on deck. 0-1 the count. The 0-1. There's the curve missed inside. 1-1. I think center field and right field are still there. I think the catcher spot is still there. The 1-1 is a foul ball. 1-2 now. One and two now on Bobby Nichols. Central Methodist Graceland led 1-0. Then Central got 10 in the first. We'll tell you about the pitch. It's a foul ball. Then 2 more in the third. Graceland added a run in the third. And then Central Methodist added 6 big runs in the fourth to make it 18-2. One and two, the count. 1-2 pitch. 2-2. Valentin Cerna Jr. is on deck. 2-2, the count. 2-2 pitch. Chops it foul. Still 2-2. Heading toward the 2 o'clock hour on this Sunday, March the 3rd. Third day of meteorological spring. Of course, spring begins in 16 days. 2-2 now on Bobby Nichols. 3-2 now. 3-2 now on Bobby Nichols. Valentin Cerna Jr. is on deck. 3-2. Strike 3 call, so 2 quick outs now. Here's Valentin Cerna Jr. 1 for 2 with a double and 2 RBIs. First pitch to him. And that is a ball 1 there. 1-0 to count. I believe that's Tanner Sears on deck. 1-0 to count. 1-0 pitch. It's a high fly ball to left field. I think the left fielder calls for it. That's Ian Martinez. And for the first time, either team has gone a 1-2-3 inning. We are through 5. Central Methodist 18. Graceland 2 on the Hart Conference Network. Friend, do.
Bales takes this shot, whips it in, and it's in the back of the net!
New pitcher on the mound, Alexander Billow. 1-0 with a 3.60 ERA, 5 walks, 7 strikeouts from Winter Haven, Florida. I want to say hi to his mom, Natalie, who is listening in Winter Haven. Of course, the great time I remember meeting. Great time I enjoyed meeting Alexander was just a few weeks ago when Ozzie Smith came to town. Of course, he was the one that took a picture of me with Ozzie Smith. Dominic Van Dorn is the new catcher. He'll probably hit in Tanner Sears' spot. He's done a great job in the catcher spot there. But 18-2 lead. Why not get some players in there? Get some playing time. Weatherford's still in there. I think that's Soriano. I believe that's their second baseman, Cerna. I believe Negron is still out there. He's already set a school record for most RBIs in a game with 18, with 8.
Leading off the Yellow Jackets, number 2, Brian Knutson.
There's Brian Knutson, the batter. 2. First pitch. Chops it foul. Strike 1. 0-1 the count. 0-1 the count. Here's the 0-1. Little cue shot. Let's see who calls for it. Soriano lets it drop. I believe that'll be a base hit there. Looks like Soriano lost it in the sun there. 18 runs, 14 hits, no errors, so 2 runs, 6 hits there. And then with Knutsen's hit, that's the 7th hit of the game. Ibrahim Quevedo. No homers, 2 RBI. I think he batted 1 time. I think he went 0 for 3 in the first game. That second game yesterday. Ball 1 there. One and 0 to count. The 1-0. There's a strike, 1-1 there. So 5 innings there from Foster Seitz. The 1-1 pitch. Oh, nice pitch on the outside corner. 1-2 now. 7 hits now for Graceland, even though the scoreboard says 6, but it should be 7. 14 hits for Central Methodist, even though the scoreboard says 15. Fly ball hit well to left field. That is gone. A home run. And it's now 18-4 now. And Corvedo, that's his first of the year. RBI number 4. Ten, 14. Here's Juan Guzman. No homers, 3 RBIs. I think he was the starting catcher in game number 2 yesterday. Guzman played in game number 1 yesterday and went 0 for 2. The 1-0 pitch. Ball 2, 2-0 to count. Two 2-0 pitch. There's a strike, 2-1. 6. 2-1 pitch. Oh, nice job on the outside corner. 2-2 now on Juan Guzman. 18-4 thanks to a 2-run homer by Ibrahim Quevedo. His first of the year, RBI number 4. Swing and a miss. Strike 3 call. 1 out now. Here is their center fielder, William Pagan. 0 for 1. 1 out now. Looks like number 13 for Central Methodist is stretching, Chase Maddox. There's a strike, 0-1 in the count. Oh and 1 to count. 0-1 now. Chops it foul, 0-2. Oh and 2 the count. A little past 2 o'clock. 0-2 pitch. Little cue shot. Couldn't get it. Soriano. There's a base hit there. A 1-out single there for Ramsey Yezerez, who was 0 for 2.
Third baseman, number 13, Ramsey Yerez.
0 for 2 on today. 3 hits already this inning, but still lead 18-4. First pitch. That's a ball. 5 good innings there for Foster Seitz. Now Nathan Bell's job is trying to keep it where it is. The 1-0. Fouls it to the screen. 1-1 now. Looks like we'll have a 25-minute break in between. Nicholas Boskin's on deck. The 1-1. I think he go. Yes, he did. No question about it. 2 strikes to count. One no, 3.60 ERA, 5 walks, 7 strikeouts. That strikeout he had, that's number 8 on the year. 1-2 the count. Here's the 1-2. Oh, there's the curveball. Strike 3. Beautiful pitch by Alex Billow. And there's 2 outs there. That's the old Dwight Gooden curveball.
Number 5, Nicholas Boskin.
Nicholas Boskin, 0 for 2 on the day. Looks like nobody's warming up there. I think one of them is stretching. 1 ball, no strikes. If you look ahead to the 6th inning, I think we'll have Dominic Van Dorn, Negron, and Conforte. The 1-0. Swing and a miss. 1-1 now. That's Ian Martinez on deck. One pitch. Swing and a miss. 1-2. That was the curveball. Boy, he just done well from Winter Haven, Florida. Home of the Boston Red Sox. Their spring training home. 1-2 pitch. A swing and a miss. So 2 runs on 3 hits. No errors. 1 left. We head to the bottom of the 6th. Central. And now Dominic Van Dorn, the batter. Of course, from Grosse Pointe Woods, Michigan, around the Detroit area.
Number 12, Dominic Van Dorn.
So a great day for Tanner Sears with 2 RBIs. Gave him 25 on the year. First pitch. Chops it foul. 0-1 in the count there. He's one of the seniors, and I'm sure we're looking forward to meeting his family on senior weekend. That's Chase Maddox. The 0-1. Ball 1-1 now.
Coming up next? Okay, just remind me of the number.
1 ball, 1 strike. The 1-1. It's a high fly ball hit well into left field. Center fielder has some room. It's gone! A home run for Dominic Van Dorn, his first of the year, RBI number 1. Gives Central Methodist a 19-4 lead. How about that? A home run for Dominic Van Dorn. And here's Chase Maddox. He batted 1 time. That was against Columbia College last Sunday. He is from Kansas City. And for many of us may know, his dad, Brandon, played baseball at Central Methodist. Of course, originally from New Bloomfield, along with Justin Glick, Jeremy Sebastian, Mike Antweiler. Also, some of my friends used to know Brandon, named Bobby Strumloff, Dwayne White, B.J. Adams. And he was hit by a pitch. And he's been on base twice. And his first was a hit and an RBI. Now he gets hit by a pitch there. That's Jeremy Conforti up there, 1 for 4 with a double. So Chase Maddox, he's been at bat twice, been on base twice. That's a ball there. Maddox singled. The 1-0 swing and a miss, 1-1 now. That's Cooper Keel. 1-1 to count. 1-1 pitch. And it's a high pop-up there. Looks like the shortstop misjudges it. Maddox will get thrown out at second on the force out. So I think it's going to be counted as a single. 14. There's Cooper Keel from Bowling Green. 2 of my good friends came from the Bowling Green area. One is Steve Fouts. The other one is Lance Cox. 2 of my good friends used to hang out with. Here's a ground ball. Shortstop has it. He'll go second for 1. The first, fielder's choice. And also B.J. Adams came from Louisiana. And, of course, several years ago, there was a football coach that came from Bowling Green. He used to coach at Central Methodist named Jody Ford. There's Zeb Weedy, 1 for 2 with a single. There's a strike, 0-1 now. 2 outs now. Just the 1. 0-1 now. Here's the 0-1. It's a base hit there for Zeb Weedy. There's 17th hit of the game there. Looks like Cooper Keel will stay at second. Here's Joseph Weatherford. 2 for 3, 2 singles and an RBI.
Number 29, Joseph Weatherford.
Weatherford. First pitch to him. There's a strike, 0-1 to count there. Looks like David Soriano's on deck. (19-4). Thanks to a home run by Dominic Van Dorn, his first of the year. And it's inside, 0-1 on Joseph Weatherford. Cooper Keel's at second. Wheaties at first. 17 hits already. The 1-1. 2-1 to count. Even though it's scheduled for 2:30, maybe starting around maybe 2:45 or so. 2-1 to count on Joseph Weatherford. 2 outs in the bottom of the 6th. The 2-1. Lines a shot. There's a base hit there. Coming around to score is Cooper Keel to make it 20-4. And for Joseph Weatherford, his second RBI of the day, gives him a total of 12. Here's David Soriano, 1 for 2. Weatherford's having a great weekend. First pitch. There's a fly ball in the center field. And that's a base hit there. Weedy will score to make it 21-4 now. Weatherford goes to third there. So 21-4. 10, 12, 14. 5 hits already. First pitch. There's a ground ball to second. And there's the third out. But look at Central Methodist. They score 3 big runs on just 5 hits. No errors, and they leave 1. We're through 6. 21-4 Central Methodist on the Heart Conference Network. 12, 14, 15, 16, 17. Okay, 19. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 5 hits. Well, 14. Twenty-one runs, 19 hits, no errors for Central Methodist. 4 runs, 9 hits, and 1 error for Graceland. Is Ian Martinez up there? He doubled his first time up.
Okay, what question? I need to go down just a little bit.
First pitch to Ian Martinez, a strike call. 0-1 in the count there. Game number 2. The foul starting about 25 minutes or so. Looks like number 8. There's no number 8 in the program. There's a strike, 0-2. Playing football in the bullpen there. We know Ray Ochoa is going to start game number 2. According to Jordan Schwellenbach. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. 1 out now. Here's Brady McKillop. He struck out his first time up. Brandon McKillop up there. That's the coach's son. Strike call. 0-1 in the count. No balls and 1 strike. The 0-1. Swing and a miss. 0-2. 0-2 pitch. Fouls it to the screen. 0-2. 0-2 pitch. Foul ball. 21-4. Big day for Carlos Negron. Wind blowing there, time called. A homer, 8 RBIs, 3 doubles. 0-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. So 2 quick outs now. And it's all up to Matt Klaczynski, their last hope. 1 out away for win number 14 in front of 44,000 on hand. Millions are on television. And that is a ball, 1-0 to count. Estes Field shivering with its concrete foundations. The 1-0 pitch. Ball 2, 2-0 to count. Brian Knutson on deck. 2-0 to count. 2 outs in the 7th. Strike on the outside corner. 2-1 now. 2 balls and 1 strike. Got 4 in a row retired, all on the strikeouts. 0-2, 2-1, and it's now 3-1. 3 balls and a strike on Matt Klaczynski. Just 1 more out to go. 3-1 pitch. There's a strike, 3-2 now. 1 more to go, 1 strike away. 3-2 to count there. 3-2. Lines a shot. That is up against there. A base hit. So a 2-out hit there. 5, 6, 9. That's the 10th hit of the game for Graceland. There's Brady Knutson. He singled his first time. Brian Knutson singled his first time up. First pitch. Swing and a miss. 0-1 there. On deck, Abraham Quevedo on deck. The 0-1. Foul ball, strike 2. 0-2 the count. Just a strike away from win number 15. Actually, win number 14, but most importantly, 3-0 in the conference. Klaczynski's at first. The 0-2. That's outside just to increase the tension. 1-2 the count. Estes Field shivering with its concrete foundations. 1-2 the count. Ball 2. 2-2 now. On Brian Knutson. Abraham Quevedo's on deck. 2-2 the count. 2-2 pitch. Fouls it off. Still 2-2. One more to go after this to complete the 4-game series. Two-two pitch. Misses that one. 3-2. 3-2 now. 3-2 now on Brian Knutson. 3-2 pitch. That's ball 4 now. So first and second. And still 2 out. That's one of the hardest things to do in sports is usually in the sport of baseball, get that third out. There's Abraham Quevedo. Hit a 2-run homer his first time up. Quevedo has 4 RBIs and a home run on the season. First pitch. There's a strike on the outside corner. 0-1 now. 0-1 now on Quevedo. Looks like Juan Guzman is on deck. The 0-1. Swing and a miss. 0-2 now. We'll probably have about a 25-minute break in between. Oh, 0-2 the count. Here's the 0-2. Misses that one just to increase the tension. 1-2 now. 1-2 the count there on Abraham Quavito. Juan Guzman on deck. Your 1-2 pitch. Yes, sir. Strike 3 call. So no runs on 1 hit, no errors, and one let on. As Jack Buck would say, that's the winner, folks. A final score: Central Methodist 21, Graceland 4. 21 runs on 19 hits, 4 and no errors. Graceland 4 runs, 10 hits, and an error. Central Methodist is 14-3. Graceland is 8-8 and 0-3 in the conference. We'll have game 2 for you in about 2:52 or so. Quentin Norris saying so long, and that's 7,309 of them. We'll see you in a bit there, and it's time.